Hi, I'm religious trauma expert and spiritual coach Ivory Crump, and I want to talk about how to overcome the fear of putting yourself out there on social media. And I want to talk about this because I've talked to a lot of people who see social media as a potential outlet. They may make jewelry, or they may be a counselor, or they may be a business owner, or they may just have a message that they want to get out to the world. They may, see their purpose as helping people in some form. And even though they see social media as a potential outlet to reach people, they shy away from it. They're apprehensive about it. And some of the reasons that I've heard are feeling like you want to get yourself together first, or that maybe you um, are shy and you don't feel confident about speaking and putting yourself out there on social media. Or even I've talked to people who they don't like the way they look on camera. And full transparency, um, I tend to be critical of myself, like when I see myself in pictures or video. So, there are a lot of reasons you can that can prevent you from, really putting yourself out there on social media and moving forward. So for me, the reason I started using social media was because I, wanted to help people. And I saw spiritual coaching as a way to help people. And so I wanted to get my name out there, get my message out there. And I saw social media to do that. So I started making YouTube videos. And there were a lot of things I had to consider when using YouTube. Like, what do I want to talk about? How do I deliver my message? What am I gonna wear? How am I gonna wear my hair? Even like what tool am I gonna use to record? What tool am I gonna use to edit videos? There were just a lot of things to consider that I had to, meditate on, and, um, even talking to people and asking, hey, what do you use for this? Or what do you use for that? So it was a process, but I didn't let fear or self doubt or being self conscious or overly critical of myself stop me from actually doing it. I have a mantra that I tell myself, and I also share it with others for dealing with self doubt. And that mantra is do it anyway. So whenever you have a goal or something that you want to accomplish and self doubt starts to creep in, you have to push past it and move forward. And so that's my mantra. Do it anyway. Um, so making this video, I want to say to those of you that can relate to what I'm saying, maybe you're going through this. I want to say, like, don't let, don't let perfection, stop you from pursuing your goal. If your goal is to get on social media and use that, as a platform, you don't have to be perfect. So that's my first suggestion is don't let wanting things to be perfect stop you from moving forward. Another thing that I want to share with you is that people who are genuinely interested in your message will look beyond what you perceive to be your flaws. So, like I said, I can be very self conscious about how I look in photos and on video. But by me doing it anyway, I've gotten a positive response from people. And I've even talked to people about some of my concerns about how I look. And like there was one video I did and I asked somebody to watch it and I was like, yeah, I feel like I look plain, like maybe I need to wear makeup, and they were like, no, like no you don't. You look fine. So when they were giving me good feedback about the message, like what I was actually talking about in the video. So, we all make judgments about people's flaws sometimes, maybe not all the time. That might not be something that you actually practice, but we all do it sometimes. But when you're on social media and you have a message that you're sharing, people are gonna look beyond what you perceive to be your flaws. And you may be thinking, oh, my hair looks a mess, but and you may think that other people are going to think that, but that's actually what you perceive to be. How you perceive that other people are looking at you. That doesn't, they may not even be thinking that. Or while you may say, my hair looks a mess, they may say, oh, I like that hairstyle. So, or if you feel like, well, I don't have the right equipment, even things like that, like you do it anyway and just get started, just work with what you got. What happens is where you start is not where you finish. And when you start out making the videos, as you progress and you improve, maybe you are able to get to purchase lighting and maybe you can get like different backgrounds or when you start to um improve, I don't even know if improve is the right word, but as you progress in like editing and recording and things like that, like people will see growth on your channel. Or even when your presentation, you may be nervous when you start out, or like you hear me saying, you may say, or you may feel like you're not as eloquent as other people when you're speaking, but that's something you can work on too. But like I said, do it anyway. You're gonna grow as you start to do it more, which brings me to my next bit of advice, which is you will get more comfortable the more you do it. So, as I was saying, like you'll grow, it'll start to become easier and second nature to you the more you practice it and get more comfortable being on camera. I know, as I shared earlier, when I first started making videos, it was I didn't have that confidence even though I believed in what I was doing and I didn't let self-doubt stop me. When I would make the videos, I would wonder like, okay, is this video good enough? Did I articulate myself well? Is this topic relevant? And I would ask a friend or a family member to watch the video and then tell me what they thought about it. So at, at first I wanted that validation like, "Hey, is this is this good content?" But as I progressed, I became more confident and comfortable with putting out content. And I am more confident in the message, because I understand that that's the important part. Like I believe in myself, I believe in what I'm doing, and I know that what I'm doing is making a difference. And so I don't have to worry about, oh, are people going to receive this? Because I know that it's going to touch who it's meant to touch. And as I started to make the videos, I got positive feedback from the viewers. And so, yeah, you get more comfortable with time. And my last piece of advice is trolls are going to troll. With social media, I noticed that a lot of people, they can be very nasty and very brutal to the point where I wonder, like, is this something that you would say to someone's face? Like, what you're typing, what you've posted, like, it's so negative and nasty. It's like, but would you have the nerve to say this to someone in person? Or is it just because you're hiding behind the keyboard and no one can see you that you think that you can just say whatever you want? So, I mean, you are gonna encounter some negative feedback at some point, but again, do it anyway. Because, if need be, you can always block people. All of the platforms have a way to block or hide those type of comments. So you always have that option. But even beyond that, I would say just just keep in mind that these are people who are hiding behind their keyboard. Like, so I would say don't take it personal, and just understand that some people just have nothing better to do, or they have negative feelings about their self and they're projecting that on you because they feel bad about themselves, they want you to feel bad about yourself too. So, those are um, my nuggets of advice for those of you who are wanting to put yourself out there on social media. Like I said, do it anyway. Don't overthink it. It's it's not as hard as you think. If you want to go ahead and get started, just sit down and brainstorm and think about some topics that you want to talk about, or some things that you can do to engage with your followers. I know sometimes I make videos where I talk, but then sometimes I post pictures, or I might post a quote, or I even recorded, because I'm an author, and I just released my first book. I ordered copies of my book to sell at my book launch. And this was my first shipment of books. So the day I received it, I was opening the box, and I was like, "Hey, I'll record myself opening the box and then make a post about it." And so just that simple um act, just catching that on camera and then posting it, I got great positive reactions from my audience. And so, like I said, don't overthink it too much. The people who you are called to reach, you will reach, and they'll be receptive. Peace, love, and light.